At the base of the towering Mount Kilimanjaro, where its snow-capped peak cuts through the clouds and its slopes echo with the pulse of untamed life, unfolds one of the most demanding battlegrounds in Africa. This is a place shaped by extremes, scorching daylight, biting cold after sunset, seasons that shift without warning, and a daily struggle for water, territory, and survival. In this unforgiving realm, every creature, whether swift, silent, or colossal, must fight to endure. Here, survival is not granted. It is earned through instinct, resilience, and an unbreakable will. A simple moment of hesitation can mean defeat, while a burst of courage can mean another day alive. Every encounter has weight, and every decision can tip the delicate balance between predator and prey. And yet, despite its harshness, Kilimanjaro forms a breathtaking living tapestry. Each animal plays a vital role in maintaining the rhythm of this ancient ecosystem. The hunters sharpen the pulse of the plains, the hunted shape the movements of the land, and the smallest creatures uphold the hidden foundations that keep the wilderness alive. Together, they weave a masterpiece crafted by nature's timeless artistry. Dawn drapes the boundless grasslands in a soft wash of pale gold, settling over the earth like a quiet promise. The wild stirs beneath the first gentle rays. Beads of dew glimmer on the soil. Tree shadows stretch, herds shift, and the world slowly breathes itself awake as night withdraws. Once more, an ancient rhythm begins anew. And in this realm of fresh beginnings, one creature rises above the rest. The heat, the pulse of life, centers on the lion, the sovereign of the savannah. Its power is rooted in unity, its strength shaped by cooperation. Its presence carries a silent grandeur that commands the entire plain. This is the lion's dominion, a world where bravery is defined not only by conflict, but by protection, where the young learn by watching, by imitating, by standing together. A pride is more than a gathering of lions. It is a resilient, intricate society held together by unwritten laws of survival and inheritance. At the core of this society are the lioness's sisters, mothers, relentless hunters. They are the true architects of the pride. Together, they form a web of collaboration, a living tapestry woven from instinct and kinship. Every successful hunt belongs to all, not one. And every newborn cub is not merely its mother's responsibility, but a child of the entire pride. The lionesses nurse, guard, and guide each other's young in seamless harmony. For the cubs, life begins in play. They chase, wrestle, and tumble, sharpening instincts that will one day mean life or death. But on the savannah, abundance is fleeting. With each sunrise, the struggle begins anew. Standing watch over this world are the males, the guardians of the pride. Their massive forms and thunderous roars create a living barrier against threats. Yet dominance on the savannah is never eternal. For every ruling male, a challenger grows somewhere in exile. Young outcast lions roam the wilderness, gaining strength and burning with the desire to forge a legacy. And when they return, the land itself seems to shudder. Night erupts with chaos, deep roars met by roaring answers, voices crashing against the dark. The clash is savage. Claws rip, teeth pierce, bodies slam together. This is not a contest of finesse, but of endurance, wrath, and unyielding resolve. And at its end, one truth stands unwavering. The victor seizes the pride, the lionesses, and the right to sire the next generation. The defeated fades back into the wilderness, swallowed by the endless plains. The lion's golden coats merge seamlessly with the sun-scorched grasslands, offering near-perfect camouflage. The male's thick, regal mane is more than a symbol of power. It serves as essential protection during violent clashes. Weighing between 330 and 550 pounds and stretching up to 10 feet in length. Lions embody both raw power and surprising agility. Unlike most big cats that live solitary lives, lions thrive in close-knit family units known as prides. A typical pride ranges from a few members to as many as 30, with lionesses leading the hunt. During the dry season, shrinking water sources push wildebeest, zebras, and buffalo to migrate. In response, lions broaden their hunting grounds, sometimes roaming across nearly 100 square miles. When night settles over the African savanna, the pride's hunt begins. Darkness becomes their ally, sparing them from the intense daytime heat. Working together, the lionesses employ coordinated strategies. Some drive prey into confusion, while others lie hidden, ready to strike from the shadows. Feeding time, however, follows a strict and often unforgiving hierarchy. Dominant males eat first, enforcing their authority at every meal. Yet these males are also indispensable defenders, safeguarding the pride from threats. In the scramble for food, lions typically dominate hyenas. Research indicates that in roughly 60% of encounters, lions seize kills from hyena clans. But numbers can quickly shift the advantage. A coordinated group of 15 to 20 hyenas is capable of challenging, even overpowering, a strong pride. This intense rivalry between lions and hyenas is a crucial force that helps maintain ecological balance. Their constant struggle ensures that only the most capable, adaptable predators endure. The southern slopes of Kilimanjaro, nourished by monsoon winds sweeping in from the Indian Ocean, stay lush and vibrant throughout the year. Thick forests and fertile meadows climb the mountain's sides, forming a living mosaic of countless green hues. Within the bushland zone, where tall grasses and dense shrubs thrive, one of Africa's most iconic giants finds its home, the African bush elephant. As the largest land animal on the planet, the elephant embodies an evolutionary journey that spans millions of years. Part of the Elephantidae family, these magnificent beings trace their lineage back more than 6 million years, descended from ancient species that once roamed widely across the continent. But as climates shifted and human presence expanded, their range steadily shrank. Today, they survive mainly in sub-Saharan Africa, where conditions remain favorable. Among these regions, Kilimanjaro's bushlands serve as a crucial sanctuary. The vast grasslands and low-lying shrubs provide abundant forage, while sheltered streams and dense vegetation ensure reliable water and cover. Reaching up to 13,200 pounds and standing as tall as 13 feet. An African bush elephant needs roughly 300 pounds of food each day to sustain its massive frame. Its diet includes grasses, shrubs, bark, and roots, turning the bushland into an endless buffet for these gentle giants. Despite their calm and deliberate pace, elephants live within remarkably complex social systems. Herds are typically guided by a senior female known as the matriarch, whose experience directs the group through the landscape. As the herd moves, the elephants use their massive ears to cool themselves in the intense heat. Their trunks, crafted from more than 40,000 muscles, are extraordinary tools capable of drawing in over 2.5 gallons of water at once, reaching branches beyond the grasp of any other animal, and serving as a formidable means of defense when danger looms. Often referred to as ecosystem engineers, African bush elephants play a key role in shaping their environment. By feeding on shrubs and saplings, they create open spaces that let sunlight reach the ground, promoting new plant growth. Their dung, rich with undigested seeds, helps disperse vegetation across the landscape, sustaining the cycle of renewal. Yet their survival is anything but secure. Poaching for ivory remains the most devastating threat. With an estimated 20,000 elephants killed across Africa each year to fuel the illegal trade. At the same time, expanding farms and settlements have replaced much of their traditional habitat, forcing elephants to travel farther in search of food and water. This displacement has sparked rising human-elephant conflicts as desperate herds wander into cultivated lands and villages in their struggle to endure. Amid the layered greenery of the rainforest, where sunlight struggles to pierce the thick canopy, the African leopard moves like a shadow, an enduring symbol of strength and survival. Its golden fur and dark rosette markings blend perfectly with the forest's dim mosaics, mirroring the mystery and depth of the tropical wilderness. The leopard's lineage stretches back more than 2 million years to the earliest members of the Felidae family in Africa and Asia. As one of the oldest and most versatile predators, it has evolved an array of adaptations that allow it to succeed in an astonishing variety of habitats. Capable of reaching speeds of up to 36 km/h and leaping nearly 20 feet in a single bound. It is a hunter built for precision and power. But what truly distinguishes the leopard is its extraordinary versatility. While many predators depend on specific environments for survival, leopards can prosper almost anywhere: savannas, forests, mountainsides, even semi-deserts. Wherever they live, they remain elusive, moving invisibly through the world unless they choose to reveal themselves. In nature's harsh arena, every species relies on its own strategy. Lions dominate with strength and cooperation. Cheetahs triumph with unmatched speed across open plains. The leopard, however, survives through an impeccable blend of stealth, patience, and perfectly timed ambush. A leopard never rushes a hunt. Hidden in the shadows, it watches silent, calculating, endlessly patient. It may trail its prey for hours, studying every movement and waiting for the precise moment to act. Then, as if dissolving into the darkness, it advances slow, silent, and ghost-like. There is no frantic charge, only flawless approach until escape becomes impossible. When the moment arrives, the strike is instantaneous. With immense force, it clamps onto the throat of its prey, ending the hunt in seconds. Yet the kill is only part of its challenge. On the open plains of Kilimanjaro, danger prowls at every turn. Lions, hyenas, and opportunistic scavengers circle constantly, waiting to steal a hard-earned meal. This is where the leopard's unmatched strength gives it a unique edge, the ability to lift its prey high into the branches of a tree, far beyond the reach of rivals. Even antelope twice its own weight can be carried effortlessly upward. For a solitary hunter, this is the ultimate safeguard. But even the most skilled predator is not without peril. In this unforgiving ecosystem, nothing is ever certain. Lions, armed with sheer power and the unity of a pride, pose the greatest threat. A single strike from a male lion can be fatal. Hyenas, relentless and numerous, will seize any opportunity to steal a kill. Even cheetahs compete fiercely for territory and prey. Yet the leopard is almost never cornered. When pursued, it does not fight for dominance, it vanishes. With astonishing agility, it can scale a tree within seconds, disappearing into the canopy before danger closes in. If trapped, it melts into the undergrowth, waiting patiently for the right moment to slip away. In the wild, survival is not always about force. Sometimes, invisibility is the most powerful defense. Unlike lions, the leopard seeks no applause. Unlike hyenas, it does not crave hierarchy. It lives alone, ruling its domain in silence. All it needs is a patch of dense vegetation, a sturdy branch overhead, and the cover of night, and from these shadows, it reigns unseen. The bushland at the foot of Kilimanjaro also provides the perfect home for the common dwarf mongoose, the smallest mongoose species in Africa. These tiny mammals live in cooperative groups of 8 to 30 individuals, usually led by a dominant breeding pair. Instead of digging their own shelters, they cleverly reuse abandoned burrows of aardvarks or other digging animals, turning these structures into safe havens against predators and harsh weather. Dwarf mongooses feed mainly on insects such as termites, beetles, and crickets, though their diet can also include small animals, bird eggs, and the occasional fruit. Their powerful digging skills help them uncover prey hidden beneath the soil. Using their sharp claws, they flip over clumps of earth and expose insects or other invertebrates concealed below. When the group forages, they often disperse into smaller units. Some individuals take on the vital role of sentinels, climbing rocks or fallen trunks to keep watch over the surroundings. With their sharp eyesight, they scan for threats, and at the slightest hint of danger, they release loud alarm calls that send the rest of the group sprinting to safety. Reproduction among mongooses is a carefully coordinated effort. Unlike many animals where parents alone care for their young, dwarf mongooses rely on the entire colony to raise offspring. During the breeding season, every adult contributes to the newborn's survival. After a gestation period of 60 to 70 days, females give birth to litters of 2 to 6 pups. The newborns are blind and completely helpless, remaining hidden in the safety of underground burrows for the first days of life. Their protection is shared mother, siblings, and unrelated helpers all take turns guarding them. Protection extends beyond the burrow. When the colony goes out to forage, a few adults, male or female, stay behind to guard the pups, shielding them from predators such as jackals or raptors. As the young grow stronger, they begin venturing outside under constant adult supervision. This stage is critical. By watching and mimicking older mongooses, the pups learn essential survival skills, identifying edible prey, avoiding dangerous animals like scorpions or snakes, and interpreting the sentinel's warning calls. Every short excursion becomes a lesson in navigating the savannah. Around 10 months of age, young mongooses become full members of the group. Some excel as hunters, others become vigilant lookouts or dedicated caretakers for future litters. This continuous cycle of learning and cooperation strengthens the colony and prepares it for the ever-present challenges of the savannah. Their intricate social structure demonstrates that, in the natural world, teamwork can be as vital as strength. Though small in size, their intelligence, coordination, and unity make dwarf mongooses some of the savanna's most successful survivors. The African savanna itself is a vast arena of constant competition, where only the most adaptable endure. The ostrich, relying on sheer speed and formidable strength, commands the plains without ever taking flight. African wild dogs secure their survival through unmatched teamwork and strategic hunting. Meanwhile, mongooses prove that even the smallest creatures can thrive through cooperation, communication, and agility. Each species contributes to the delicate equilibrium of the ecosystem. The endurance of ostriches, the unity of wild dogs, and the discipline of mongooses illustrate the diverse strategies nature has crafted for survival. Across the sweeping savanna, the struggle for life never truly ends, yet through speed, strategy, and collective effort, these animals continue shaping their own stories, proving that even in the harshest environments, life persists and prevails. The bushland of Kilimanjaro forms a lively tapestry of wildlife, where sweeping green grasslands blanket the mountain's foothills and blend naturally into scattered forests. Within this landscape, the plains zebra, marked by its unmistakable black and white stripes, stands as one of Africa's most iconic symbols. The story of the plains zebra stretches back nearly 4 million years, when its ancestors from the Equidae family first adapted to life on Africa's open grasslands. Through the course of evolution, they developed the striking stripes that define them today, patterns that are not only visually captivating, but also biologically vital. Every zebra's stripe pattern is entirely unique, much like a human fingerprint, allowing individuals to be easily recognized within a herd. Today, plains zebras roam widely across sub-Saharan Africa, thriving in vast savannas and open woodlands. In the Kilimanjaro region, the bushland offers an ideal home, rich with short grasses and reliable water sources. According to 2023 estimates, the local zebra population ranges between 1,200 and 1,500 individuals. This stability reflects the importance of Kilimanjaro's bushland ecosystem in sustaining the species. Hidden among the low shrubs and thick grasses, tiny dik-diks navigate the undergrowth, relying on camouflage and agility to remain unseen by predators. When threatened, a dik-dik releases a sharp, high-pitched alarm call that alerts nearby animals and sometimes startles approaching predators. This distinctive sound not only helps protect the tiny antelope itself, but also links it to the broader ecosystem, forming a natural early warning network shared among multiple species. Dik-diks typically live in monogamous pairs, usually one male and one female. Each pair maintains a territory of roughly 12 to 15 acres, where they feed, defend their boundaries, and raise their young. To mark these territories, they use specialized scent glands near their eyes, leaving chemical signals on vegetation and the ground. As herbivores, dik-diks rely mainly on soft grasses, fresh leaves, and occasionally bark. Remarkably, they draw most of the moisture they need directly from the plants they eat, allowing them to thrive even in dry environments where open water is limited. Along the dense forest edges of the bushland, where layers of vivid green foliage overlap like a living tapestry, the white-cheeked turaco moves through the trees like a glimmering emerald. Its brilliant green feathers and flashes of red beneath its wings add bursts of color to an already enchanting landscape. The turaco's deep, resonant calls roll across the canopy, filling the air with a blend of mystery and energy. White-cheeked turacos usually live in pairs or in small groups of 3 to 7. They are strongly territorial and will vigorously defend their home range. Their far-carrying, cuckoo-like calls serve both as communication and as a warning to any intruders. Their diet consists primarily of fruit, though they also eat tender leaves, blossoms, and the occasional seed. They pluck fruit straight from the branches or pick it up from the forest floor. As they move through the treetops and digest their meals, they scatter seeds through their droppings, helping forests regenerate and encouraging new plant growth across the landscape. Amid the thick green foliage, a vibrant world comes alive through the iridescent wings of sunbirds and spider hunters. Their powerful wing beats allow them to zip between treetops with remarkable speed. During times of scarcity, they may travel as far as 5 miles a day in search of flowering plants. When they reach a blossom, their brush-tipped tongues draw out nectar fuel that powers their long, rapid flights. Yet nectar is only part of their diet. During the breeding season, they switch to eating small insects, ensuring they obtain the protein needed to support the growth and development of their young. This flexibility enables them to endure challenging environmental shifts, particularly during the dry months. As they feed, pollen clings to their beaks and tongues and is carried from flower to flower, facilitating pollination and enabling plants to reproduce. Through this simple but vital act, sunbirds and spider hunters help maintain the forest's botanical diversity, supporting a rich web of life that depends on these plants for nourishment and shelter. Amid the thick rainforest canopy, mantled guarezas move with effortless grace. Their black and white forms drifting through the treetops like elegant shadows. Their jet-black coats, framed by striking white fringes, and their long, sweeping tails make them one of the most distinctive emblems of the Kilimanjaro rainforest. Belonging to the genus Colobus, a branch of the Cercopithecidae family that emerged roughly 25 million years ago, the mantled gureza carries a remarkable evolutionary adaptation: the lack of a fully developed thumb. Instead of the flexible hands typical of most primates, they possess 4 strong fingers designed for powerful grips, allowing them to cling to branches with exceptional precision. This unique structure enables them to leap effortlessly up to 20 feet from tree to tree, accessing the uppermost forest layers far beyond the reach of most predators. The evolution of the mantled gureza is closely intertwined with the ancient rainforests of East Africa. These lush environments have offered abundant food and safe arboreal pathways for millions of years. Early ancestors of the species flourished in pristine forests, gradually mastering a completely arboreal lifestyle that reduced exposure to ground-dwelling threats . And opened access to food sources few other animals could reach. Today, the range of the mantled gureza spans across East African forests, from Kenya to Tanzania. Kilimanjaro's rainforest provides ideal conditions: towering trees, secure canopies, and rich vegetation. The population here is estimated at 10,000 to 15,000 individuals, a sign of stability supported by the well-protected habitats within the national park. Through their movement, diet, and presence in the ecosystem, mantled gurezas stand as quiet architects of Kilimanjaro's rainforest, shaping the canopy, sustaining plant diversity, and embodying the ancient evolutionary heritage of East Africa's primates. Across the rugged wilderness of Kilimanjaro, where life hangs by a thread and danger shadows every step, the struggles we have witnessed reveal the raw truth of survival. Every creature, from the swiftest hunter to the most vulnerable wanderer, fights not for dominance, but simply for the chance to see another sunrise. The clashes, the pursuits, and the narrow escapes remind us that here, survival is earned moment by moment. Yet beneath the ferocity lies a deeper beauty. Each animal, no matter its size or strength, plays an irreplaceable role in sustaining this ancient ecosystem. Their daily battles are not just acts of instinct, but vital threads in the fabric of life that has endured in Kilimanjaro for thousands of years. If you enjoyed this journey, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Hidden Planet TV. Your support helps us bring more breathtaking stories from the wild to your screen. Across the sweeping plains, stretching from the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, nature unfolds one of its most extraordinary events, the Great Migration. When drought tightens its grip and the land cracks open under the sun, millions of wildebeest, zebras, and gazelles are driven to embark on a relentless journey in search of greener pastures. This is not a seasonal choice. It is a survival mandate written into the very fabric of the wild: keep moving or fade away. Throughout the migration, danger follows their every step. Lions lie in wait among the tall, sunburned grasses, timing their ambush to perfection. Hyenas track the herds from the shadows, ready to seize any animal that falters. As the migrants push forward, dust storms rise, thinning the line between life and death. And then comes the moment every creature fears: the crossing of the Mara River, where monstrous crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, turning the waters into a deadly gauntlet. Yet, year after year, the herds endure. Their resilience fuels the pulse of Africa's ecosystems, shaping a cycle that has persisted longer than human history itself. The Great Migration stands as a testament to the raw determination of the natural world, an ongoing saga of survival, courage, and the unbreakable will to live. The Serengeti is defined by its sweeping savannas, scattered acacia trees, gentle rolling hills, and ancient granite outcrops known as kopjes, natural lookout points where predators often rest or lie in ambush. During the rainy months, the plains turn a vibrant green, while in the dry season they fade into the iconic sun-baked gold associated with Africa. This immense ecosystem shelters the Big Five, along with millions of other animals: wildebeest, zebras, lions, cheetahs, elephants, giraffes, eagles, storks, herons, vultures, and countless more. Every year, over 1.5 million wildebeest, accompanied by vast numbers of zebras, Thomson's gazelles, and other species, begin their journey out of Tanzania's Great Serengeti. They traverse parched plains, deep river channels, and territories prowled by predators as they push toward Kenya's lush Masai Mara, where fertile grasslands await. The Serengeti stretches out as a wide, largely flat wilderness of dry grasses and lone acacia trees, while the Masai Mara, higher in elevation and blessed with more rain during migration season, offers richer pastures that draw herds seeking food and breeding grounds. The wildebeest led the procession, followed closely by zebras and gazelles. Their most perilous challenges come at the Grumeti and Mara rivers, where massive crocodiles lie in wait. On the open plains, lions, hyenas, cheetahs, and African wild dogs seize every opportunity. The animals migrate endlessly in search of fresh grazing, clean water, and refuge from drought, a continuous cycle that sustains and balances the entire ecosystem. This massive movement is considered one of the world's most breathtaking natural spectacles. It captivates not only because of its sheer magnitude, but also because of the intense, dramatic moments. It brings a calf separated from its mother, a crocodile's sudden strike, a pride of lions coordinating a hunt. The Great Migration is more than a struggle for survival. It is a testament to nature's resilience, unity, and unyielding spirit. From the Serengeti to the Masai Mara, the landscape becomes a grand, living theater where every creature fights to endure, to protect its young, and to continue the cycle of life despite constant challenges. A new day breaks as golden sunlight filters through the forest canopy, warming the damp earth below. From the shade of the trees, a pride of lions emerges, moving with steady purpose, their eyes alert for the slightest motion. Out on the open plain, a large herd of wild buffalo grazes calmly, unaware that danger is silently drawing near. The lions slow to a crawl, sinking into the tall grass as they study the herd's formation. One buffalo stands apart from the rest, older, slower, and vulnerable. With practiced patience, the pride shifts into position, closing the distance and blocking off any possible route of escape. Then, in an instant, the silence shatters. The lions launch forward together, bursting from the grass in a cloud of dust and thunderous roars. Startled, the lone buffalo bolts, muscles trembling, hooves hammering the ground as it races for its life. The chase intensifies as the lions move in from both sides, tightening their formation with calculated precision. One lion springs onto the buffalo's back, claws digging in. Others sweep around its flanks, forcing it off balance in a whirl of coordinated motion. Finally, the exhausted animal collapses, its eyes closing as the struggle ends. Nature's harsh rhythm plays out, strength and instinct determining survival. Pride gathers around the fallen buffalo, sharing the meal earned through cooperation and skill. They eat slowly and with purpose, not merely to satisfy hunger, but to reinforce the unity and stamina that keep them alive. Once more, morning light stretches across the land, casting long shadows through the grass. In the distance, the lions move stealthily, focused on a new target. Another herd of buffalo grazes nearby, oblivious to the threat stalking them. But this time, the buffalo sense the shift in the air. Panic ripples through the herd, and they break into a powerful, synchronized charge. Amid the chaos, one buffalo wheels around, lowering its massive horns and slamming into a lion with full force. The cat is hurled into the air before crashing heavily to the ground. With the predator incapacitated, the buffalo frees itself and races back to its herd, which surges forward towards safety. Lions are opportunistic hunters, seizing every chance they can to secure food for their pride. In the distance, a group of lions appears, moving with intent. Their sharp, focused eyes sweep the land in search of potential prey. Not far away, a herd of zebras grazes calmly, unaware of the silent threat creeping closer through the grass. The lions sink low, their bodies nearly disappearing into the tall savanna grass as they study the herd's movements. Inch by inch, they advance, carefully narrowing the gap between themselves and the unsuspecting zebras. Then, the moment arrives. One lion bursts forward, launching a rapid, explosive attack. The zebras erupt into chaos, scattering in multiple directions as fear takes hold. But the lion has already chosen its target. It locks onto one zebra and gives chase, unrelenting. The zebra sprints wildly, weaving in frantic circles in an attempt to escape. Yet the lion's speed and endurance quickly narrow the distance. With a final surge, the lion leaps, gripping the zebra and dragging it to the ground. Within seconds, the rest of the pride arrives, surrounding the fallen prey. Together, they begin to feed, claiming the reward of a successful hunt. Silence returns to the savannah, broken only by the steady sounds of lions tearing into their hard-earned meal. Wildebeest are among the lion's preferred prey. As golden morning light spreads across the African plains, it warms the trees and stirs the wildlife awake. A pride of lions lies stretched out in the tall grass beneath acacia trees, resting, yet always alert. As the temperature rises, the pride stirs to life. Muscles ripple beneath tawny fur as the lions rise and prepare to hunt. Not far away, a herd of wildebeest grazes quietly, unaware of the danger emerging from the shadows. The lions sink low, melting into the sunlit grasslands, eyes locked on the herd in search of the most vulnerable target. A large male lion inches forward, his impressive frame nearly invisible amid the golden blades. His gaze sharpened. One wildebeest stands apart from the herd, alone, exposed, and defenseless. Without hesitation, the lion bursts into a powerful sprint, sending dust swirling into the air. The hunt has begun. The wildebeest startles, leaping sideways as panic surges through its body. It charges forward, hooves thundering against the earth, trying desperately to outpace the predator closing in behind it. But the lion remains relentless, weaving through thickets and tall grass with fierce determination. With a final, precise leap, the lion crashes onto the wildebeest's back, claws sinking deep. The animal bucks and twists violently, fighting to break free, but its strength fades quickly. One by one, the rest of the pride arrives, circling the prey to block every escape route. With their combined force, the lions bring the wildebeest down completely. When the struggle ends, the pride begins to feed. Teeth tear through flesh as they share the hard-won reward of the hunt. In the wild, life is governed by strength, patience, and the eternal balance between predator and prey. The herd of zebras and wildebeest presses onward, moving together in a steady rhythm toward new grazing grounds. Ahead, a river appears, its waters rushing swiftly, a formidable natural barrier for the migrating herd. In the river, crocodiles lurk beneath the surface, and hippos float silently, both waiting for the chance to strike at any unsuspecting prey. The herd halts at the riverbank, scanning the surroundings with caution, sensing the danger that lies ahead. Slowly, the wildebeest and zebras edge down toward the water, tentative and aware of the peril. The predators stir, moving with deliberate stealth, eyes fixed on the herd. At the edge of the group, a lone zebra falls slightly behind, exposing itself to the lurking crocodile. In a sudden burst of power, the crocodile lunges, clamping down on the zebra and dragging it beneath the churning water. The herd pauses, witnessing the attack, yet instinct drives them forward. They must cross. Young members of the herd hesitate, then gather courage and move toward the river. The crocodile strikes again, seizing a young zebra on the fringe. The zebra fights desperately, thrashing hooves and straining against the predator's grip, but its strength fades under the crocodile's power. Meanwhile, the rest of the herd continues their perilous crossing, pressing onward to safety and leaving the fallen behind. Finally, the herd emerges on the opposite bank, their migration momentarily complete. They press on into new lands as a new dawn rises, spreading golden light across the forest and spilling into the dry, dusty plains. The predators lingered beneath the river's surface, their cold eyes fixed on the herd above. A massive crocodile, nearly 5 meters long, moved with deliberate slowness, its body as solid and unyielding as steel. It did not rush. It had no need to chase. Patience was its weapon. On the riverbank, the wildebeest hesitated. Aware of the threat, but forced forward by instinct. A leader stepped boldly into the water, pausing for a heartbeat before plunging in. Like a chain reaction, hundreds followed, then thousands, sending the river into a frothing, splashing chaos. Suddenly, a crocodile erupted from the water, jaws snapping around the hindquarters of a young wildebeest. The animal struggled frantically, hooves thrashing, but the predator's razor-sharp teeth held fast. In mere seconds, the wildebeest was dragged beneath the surface. A plume of red water rose, staining the river, and then silence fell once more. The remaining herd pressed on, swimming steadily toward the far bank. They did not look back. Each knew that even a moment's hesitation could mean the difference between life and death. The cleaners arrived. The sky, once clear, darkened with movement. Vultures appeared, dozens at first, then hundreds circling high above the river, scanning for the perfect moment to descend. The first birds landed on the washed-up antelope carcass. With powerful, precise swoops, they tore at the flesh, pecking at the soft underbelly. The flapping of wings and the sharp, relentless pecking echoed along the riverbank as the feast began. Across the African plains, vultures are unmatched masters of scavenging, equipped with a suite of remarkable adaptations. Their broad, aerodynamic wings are designed for endurance, allowing them to soar on thermal currents for hours while conserving energy. A vital skill for birds that may travel dozens of miles in a single day searching for food. Their eyesight is extraordinary. From high above, they can detect the faintest signs of death, such as subtle drag marks left by predators. Their bald heads and long necks are not mere oddities, they are evolutionary tools, enabling the birds to feed deep inside carcasses without trapping harmful bacteria in their feathers. Even more impressive is their internal physiology. Their stomach acids are so powerful that they can safely digest meat contaminated with pathogens like anthrax or botulism, substances lethal to most other animals. Vultures also exhibit complex social behavior at feeding sites. Dominant species arrive first or assert control through size and strength, while smaller species maneuver strategically, slipping into areas of the carcass that larger birds cannot reach. Some species even use the flight paths of others as signals, creating an informal aerial network to locate food. In the end, these scavengers are essential to the savanna ecosystem. By consuming decaying carcasses within hours, they prevent the spread of disease and recycle vital nutrients back into the environment, sustaining the delicate balance of life on the plains. The sun had just crested the horizon, bathing the African savanna in a soft, golden glow. But beneath this serene light, a darker story was unfolding. In a dense thicket, a pack of hyenas stirred, hidden from view. Their spines arched as they stretched, fangs glinting in the morning sun. Drowsy eyes sharpened suddenly. A familiar scent hung in the air, blood, or soon to be. A herd of wildebeest had arrived after a long, exhausting migration through the night. They grazed openly, unaware of the danger lurking nearby. No shade, no cover, no warning. The hyenas did not rush. Instead, they shifted silently from rest to strategy. Unlike lions, they did not roar. Unlike leopards, they did not charge. They moved like shadows, ghosting through the grass, eyes fixed on every subtle motion. From a distance, they seemed like mist weaving across the plains. The wildebeest, weary and scattered, did not sense the hunters closing in, muscles sore, minds foggy, unable to detect the predator stalking them. The distance between hunter and prey closed with each careful step. One mistake could tip the balance. The savannah held its breath. Then, suddenly, a command shattered the calm. A single, primal roar echoed across the field. The pack erupted into motion, shadows transforming into bolts of lightning. Panic swept through the herd. Dust rose, hooves thundered, chaos erupted. In the confusion, one wildebeest lagged behind, thin, trembling, too slow. A hyena leapt, jaws clamping onto its back. Others followed, striking limbs, flanks, and necks with lethal precision. The pack worked as one. Screams pierced the air, then faded into silence, leaving only the wind and the heavy breaths of predators. The Golden Plains had witnessed another kill, brutal, natural, inevitable. This was the law of the land, written not in words, but in blood and instinct. once mocked as mere scavengers, hyenas revealed their cunning and lethal skill, patient, calculating, and deadly, striking only when the odds favored them. As the sun climbed higher, the blood feast ended. The hunters rested beneath acacia trees, bellies full, eyes half closed. Meanwhile, the herd pressed on, one member lost, but the journey continuing. The migration never stops. Danger never rests. Every sunrise brings not hope, but trial, not peace, but a test. In this land, the weak fall and the strong survive. It is the only rule that matters. Tomorrow it may be lions, wild dogs, or the hyenas again. The wildebeest march onward tired, alert, forever hunted, forever moving. In contrast to the dry expanses of the Serengeti, the Masai Mara thrives in the rainy season, with verdant grasslands, flowing streams, and clear skies. The first wildebeest to arrive immediately lower their heads, grazing on the tender new blades of grass and restoring energy spent during the arduous migration. Zebras, with their striking black and white stripes, begin to relax as well, lying on the ground and enjoying a fleeting sense of safety. Yet there is little time for rest. A far more urgent matter awaits the breeding season. Exhausted from their journey but fueled by instinct, the male wildebeest grow aggressive, ready to compete for mating rights. Two bulls clash suddenly, their curved horns locking as they push and strain against one another. dust rises into the air with each thunderous impact, and only the strongest males earn the privilege of mating, making these battles more intense and fierce than ever. Male zebras are formidable competitors as well, though they rely on both strength and strategy. Living in small herds of 4 to 6 females, the dominant stallion protects his group vigilantly. When an outsider attempts to enter the territory, the herd leader approaches with loud, threatening calls to warn the intruder away. Unlike wildebeest, however, zebras exhibit strong loyalty. Once a male has established his herd, he will defend it relentlessly, ensuring the safety of his females and future offspring. Meanwhile, the female zebras observe from a distance, carefully watching the contests unfold. They wait to see which male proves strongest and most capable of protecting them and the next generation, their survival instincts guiding every decision. Of all the species taking part in the Great Migration, Thompson's gazelles are the smallest, but size does not equal weakness. Their mating season begins as males establish and defend their territories, marking boundaries with scent. When a female passes by, the male runs alongside her, showcasing his speed and endurance in a display of strength and vitality. The females are selective and test the males rigorously. They sprint at full speed, forcing the pursuer to keep up for several minutes. Only those males capable of matching their stamina earn the chance to mate. For Thompson's gazelles, speed is life itself. Predators allow no second chances. Three months later, when the first rains sweep across the Serengeti, the females will be pregnant. new life will emerge, carrying forward the next generation of the Great Migration. These calves will grow strong, preparing to begin their own journey and continue the endless cycle of nature. In a few months, the call of the wild will resonate once again. Herds of wildebeest, zebras, and Thompson's gazelles will depart the Masai Mara, returning to the Serengeti's rejuvenated grasslands. After the rains, the migration resumes. The newborn calves will become pioneers of the next journey. And the Mara River will once again bear witness to the fiercest struggles for survival. In the wild, there is no pause, no respite. Only those strong enough to endure will survive. At the end of the Great Migration, as the last members of the herds cross the plains and rivers, it becomes clear that life on the African savanna is never easy. Every chase, every struggle, every step forward is part of an endless cycle where strength, cunning, and endurance decide who survives and who falls behind. Yet these stories of survival also remind us of the importance of protecting and conserving the ecosystems that sustain this wildlife. Every creature, big or small, plays a vital role in keeping the balance of nature and ensuring these wonders continue for generations to come. If this journey has inspired you, like this video and subscribe to Hidden Planet TV to continue exploring the incredible world of animals and their remarkable stories of survival. The vast African savanna stretches endlessly, a golden sea of grass swaying under the blazing sun and dry winds. This seemingly infinite landscape is a stage where life and death are intertwined at every turn. Rainfall is unpredictable, resources are scarce, and every creature must adapt to survive in an environment that tolerates no mistakes. Here, predators reign with lethal precision, moving through shadows and stalking their prey with ancient patience. Herds and packs must cooperate, flee, and fight to protect their food, their territory, and their young. Each day brings fresh challenges: hunting, defending, mass migrations, and relentless encounters that shape the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Among the fiercest competitors, African wild dogs and hyenas exemplify the intensity of the struggle for survival. Swift, cunning, and fearless, they battle for every meal, every territory, and every chance to ensure their pack endures. The African savanna, with its endless beauty and unyielding brutality, is a place where every creature, big or small, plays a vital role in the enduring story of the wild. African wild dogs are extraordinary hunters, renowned for their discipline and strategic approach that sets them apart from solitary predators or even lion prides, which rely primarily on brute strength. Each hunt by a wild dog pack becomes a showcase of speed, coordination, and precision. Capable of running up to 40 kilometers per hour and sustaining remarkable endurance. These hunters rarely need to strike immediately. Instead, they patiently chase their prey until exhaustion sets in, and when the moment arrives, the pack attacks with devastating efficiency, delivering bites of 300 psi that can dismantle the prey in under a minute. What truly distinguishes African wild dogs is not just their hunting prowess, but their exceptional social cohesion. Injured members are protected and shared food, ensuring no one is left behind. They even communicate through a sophisticated system of vocalizations, ear movements, and tail signals to coordinate their strategies. In the harsh environment of the savannah, they are not only formidable hunters, but also fiercely loyal warriors, living and dying for the survival of the pack. Yet, despite their dominance, African wild dogs are critically endangered, with fewer than 6,000 individuals remaining. Habitat destruction and human conflict have pushed them to the edge of extinction. Their hunting mastery cannot shield them from the overwhelming impact of human activity. Documentaries on wildlife often emphasize this harsh reality, highlighting both their remarkable survival skills and the urgent need for conservation. In contrast, hyenas embody patience and cunning rather than raw hunting speed or coordination. Unlike lions or wild dogs, they rely on intelligence and persistence to claim food from other predators. Bold and fearless, hyenas can confront lions, leopards, and even the highly united wild dog packs. Their most formidable weapon is their jaw, capable of delivering up to 1,100 psi, stronger than a small crocodile, which allows them to crush large bones and consume both meat and marrow, a feat few predators can achieve. This capability enables hyenas to maximize every meal, from fresh kills to leftover scraps. What truly makes hyenas formidable is their highly organized social structure. They are matriarchal, with females in charge. The alpha females can be up to 25% larger than the males, and they control crucial decisions such as who eats first, who breeds, and who is expelled from the pack. In the wild, where sheer strength often dictates survival, hyenas demonstrate that cunning, strategy, and persistence can be just as powerful as brute force. Their dominance, intelligence, and complex hierarchy make them a captivating subject in wildlife documentaries, which often highlight their strategic hunting and relentless survival instincts. As the sun dipped below the horizon, painting the African savanna in fiery shades of orange. A pack of wild dogs finally brought down an antelope after an exhausting chase. Panting with excitement, they prepared to feast. Suddenly, a chilling, scheming laugh echoed through the air. A sound straight out of a wildlife documentary. A reminder that victory is never guaranteed in the endless cycle of predator and prey. From a distance, 10 hyenas emerged, silent yet menacing. They approached slowly, observing every movement of the wild dogs. There was no rush. They knew that patience often wins. Then, a massive female leader surged forward, not to attack, but to seize the antelope. In an instant, the entire hyena pack joined her, overwhelming the wild dogs with sheer numbers and strength. With jaw forces up to 100 psi, capable of crushing bones, the hyenas forced the wild dogs to retreat. Though the wild dogs were reluctant to give up, they recognized the battle was unequal. One by one, they withdrew, leaving the spoils to the clever, opportunistic hyenas. In the wild, predators do not always emerge victorious, and once again, the hyenas have demonstrated their mastery of perseverance and cunning. Just a few days ago, the wild dogs had lost their prey to these clever scavengers, but now the balance has shifted. In the wild, defeat is only temporary. True warriors always return to reclaim what is theirs. In a clearing, 7 hyenas buried their snouts in the carcass of an old buffalo, savoring the meal. Their jaws, capable of the bite force of lions and small crocodiles, tore through flesh and bone, the sounds of chewing echoing across the savannah. Yet, they were unaware that 15 wild dogs were silently closing in, surrounding them. Unlike solitary hunters, African wild dogs excel in strategy. With top speeds of up to 44 miles per hour and the endurance to run for miles without tiring, they hold a decisive advantage over their quarry. But speed alone is not their weapon. They possess a tightly knit social structure and near-perfect hunting coordination. The wild dogs moved with precision, strategically separating the hyenas and cutting off every escape route. Rather than lunging recklessly like lions, they relied on agility and pinpoint attacks, targeting the legs and neck to disable their opponents. A female hyena snarled and fought back, but 5 wild dogs quickly overpowered her, while the rest of the pack found themselves trapped, surrounded, with no way out. Though hyenas may challenge lions, they were no match for these faster, more tactical predators. The confrontation was over in minutes. Each hyena was forced to retreat, and the once proud hunters had become the hunted. As the last hyena disappeared into the darkening grasslands, the pack of wild dogs claimed the buffalo carcass. Their cold, focused gaze swept the horizon, not merely reclaiming a meal, but restoring their honor. The African savanna shows no mercy when it comes to battles over food. A wild dog had been badly injured and left behind. An easy target for any predator, but the story was far from over. Wild dogs never forget. And when one of their own falls, the pack returns, this time with relentless fury. At dawn, 20 wild dogs advanced toward the hyena lair, perched atop a rocky outcrop. The lair was well defended, yet even the dominant female could not withstand what was coming. Sensing danger, 15 hyenas grouped together. But the wild dogs, masters of guerrilla tactics, struck swiftly and then retreated, breaking the hyenas' formation. One hyena fell, its legs crippled. Another tried to escape, but was driven back. Speed overwhelmed strength, and exhaustion began to take its toll. In the final stand, the hyena leader fought fiercely, but 10 wild dogs surrounded her. Within a minute, she collapsed. The battle was over. The wild dogs stood atop the rocky peak, their gaze sweeping across the vast grasslands as the sun rose, illuminating the victors. From that moment on, this land belonged to them. As the sun slowly sank again, bathing the savannah in crimson, the pack stood silently in the middle of the battlefield. Their bodies were stained with blood, yet their eyes remained unwavering. They had triumphed and reclaimed their honor, but this was not the end. In the distance, the surviving hyenas retreated silently, their eyes gleaming with hatred. They did not growl or fight back, yet an unspoken oath of revenge was etched into the African savanna. This war never truly ends. Today, the wild dogs emerged victorious, But tomorrow, the hyenas will return. It is an endless cycle of survival, vengeance, and dominance. Who will rule next? What secrets and mysteries await in the wild? In the African savanna, the undisputed ruler is the lion. Its power stems from family, its strength forged through unity. Its presence commands respect, a silent majesty that can still the entire plain. This is the kingdom of the lion. Here, courage is measured not only in battle, but in protection. The young learn by observing and standing together. A pride is far more than a group of lions. It is a resilient, structured society, bound by unspoken rules that shape survival and legacy. At the core of this society are the lioness's sisters, mothers, and tireless hunters. They are the architects of the pride, weaving a network of cooperation, a living tapestry of kinship and instinct. A successful hunt is never the triumph of a single individual, it belongs to the whole pride. A newborn cub is not only the responsibility of its mother, but the child of the entire group. Lionesses share the duties of nursing, guarding, and teaching one another's young. For the cubs, life begins as play. With mock battles that hone the skills they will rely on in the future. Yet on the savannah, no meal lasts forever, and the struggle resumes with each new day. The male lions, guardians of the pride, embody strength and protection. Their massive frames and thunderous roars are living walls against danger. Power, however, is never permanent. Every ruler faces challenges. Young, exiled males roam the wilderness, growing stronger and hungrier, determined to carve out their own legacy. When they arrive, the savannah trembles. The night fills with chaos deep, resonating roars, answered in kind. The confrontation is brutal. Claws shred, fangs sink deep, and bodies collide. It is not a contest of skill alone, but of endurance, fury, and willpower. In the end, only one truth prevails. The victor claims the pride, the females, and the right to sire the next generation. While the defeated vanishes into the wild. The black rhino, with its massive frame, can reach up to 5 feet in height and weigh around 3,000 pounds. This formidable creature carries 2 ever-growing horns, vital tools for defense and survival. Despite its name, the black rhino's skin is actually a grayish-brown hue. Its pointed, prehensile upper lip allows it to grasp tender leaves from thorny bushes, a remarkable adaptation for feeding in harsh environments. Remarkably, it can survive for several days without drinking directly, obtaining most of its water from the vegetation it consumes. In its arid habitat, the black rhino's poor eyesight is offset by a rich sensory world built on scent. For an animal that walks largely alone, communication is etched into the land itself. These are no ordinary droppings. They are communal chronicles, a library of scents that tells stories who has passed through, their strength, intentions, and readiness to mate. It is a silent dialogue, read by all who share this ancient territory. An invisible social network guiding navigation and interaction in a solitary life. The dry season, however, presents constant challenges. Man-made water holes, such as the one at Ocaquejo, become critical refuges where even the usually solitary black rhino must share space. At night, under the soft glow of floodlights, the silhouette of a black rhino emerges, its heavy body moving steadily toward the water, a quiet assertion of territorial dominance. As of 2023, Namibia is home to over 2,200 black rhinos, with Etosha National Park alone housing more than 70% of them. Yet, such concentrations increase the threat of poaching. Despite extensive protections, dedicated reserves, GPS tracking, drones, and even dehorning the black rhino faces a danger far greater than nature, the relentless greed of humans. Beyond the riverbanks, the dry grasslands stretch toward the horizon, an open stage where predators rule. Lions, hyenas, and cheetahs roam these plains. And in this relentless struggle for survival, even the slightest weakness can be fatal. Only the swift, the resilient, and the cunning endure. Here, speed is salvation. On the vast open plains where hiding places are scarce, prey must rely on agility, reflexes, and strategy to stay alive. The Thompson's gazelle, small yet exceptionally fast, is one of the savanna's most gifted escape artists. When danger erupts, they burst forward like living arrows, reaching speeds of 50 to 55 miles per hour. But raw speed is only part of their defense. They zigzag unpredictably, turning the chase into a maddening challenge even for the fastest hunters. Meanwhile, the zebra has perfected its own style of survival. Speed remains its strongest defense, allowing it to launch into explosive sprints of up to 40 miles per hour when alarmed. With predators such as lions and cheetahs lurking in the tall grass, zebras rely on sharp eyesight to scan the plains and powerful legs ready to spring into action. Yet escape is not achieved through speed alone. Strategy plays an equally vital role. Zebras execute sudden, sharp directional changes maneuvers that can break a predator's focus and disrupt the chase. A 2023 study by the Savannah Wildlife Institute revealed that these abrupt shifts can reduce a lion's hunting success rate by up to 70%. But beyond speed and strategy lies their greatest strength: endurance. Unlike the cheetah, which relies on short, explosive bursts, the zebra can maintain its pace over long distances, outlasting many predators simply through stamina. Beneath the scorching sun, the ostrich strides with confidence between the few remaining water holes. Though unable to fly, this remarkable bird is superbly adapted to the semi-desert landscape. Standing up to 9.2 feet tall, it possesses long, powerful legs capable of delivering a devastating kick when threatened. Yet its greatest defense is speed, reaching up to 43 miles per hour. The ostrich is one of the savanna's most exceptional long-distance runners. During the dry season, ostriches travel in groups ranging from small bands of 5 to large flocks of over 50. Moving together between water sources in search of food and moisture. As omnivores, they feed on a wide variety of plants and small creatures. When water becomes scarce, they rely on moisture-rich vegetation, allowing them to endure long periods without drinking. At Ocaucuello, they gather alongside other herbivores, forming part of an unspoken struggle for survival where predators are never far. In this high-risk environment, ostriches depend on one of their most impressive adaptations, the largest eyes of any land animal, measuring up to 2 inches across. These enormous eyes allow them to detect even the slightest movement at great distances. During the breeding season, their behavior becomes more dramatic. Males perform an elaborate courtship ritual, shaking their heads, stretching their necks, and kicking up clouds of dust to capture the attention of a mate. A single communal nest may hold as many as 60 eggs, each weighing around 3 pounds. In the harsh climate of Etosha, these eggs become tempting targets for numerous predators. Both male and female take turns guarding the nest, enduring ground temperatures that can soar above 122 degrees. The dry earth of Ocaucuello trembles beneath the heavy footsteps of a herd of blue wildebeest. Standing around 4 feet tall and weighing roughly 440 pounds, these animals possess a robust, muscular frame. Despite their bulky appearance, blue wildebeest are remarkably agile. When danger approaches, they can sprint at speeds of up to 50 miles per hour. As specialized grazers, they feed mainly on short grasses that flourish after seasonal rains. Their digestive system is finely adapted to extract nutrients from low-quality vegetation, allowing them to thrive even when food is scarce. At Ocaucuello, the artificial waterholes serve as essential lifelines during the harshest months. The herds often gather there during the early morning and late afternoon. Through continuous grazing, wildebeest prevent grasses from becoming overgrown and, in turn, stimulate new plant growth, an important contribution to the ecosystem. Migration remains one of their most critical behaviors. However, this instinctual movement across the landscape is increasingly disrupted. Human-made barriers have fragmented their ancestral roots. A study released in early 2024 revealed that herds confined to smaller isolated areas are beginning to show signs of genetic decline, a serious threat to the long-term adaptability and survival of the species. In the wooded savanna, sheer power and cooperation reign supreme. On the riverbank, beneath the shade of sparse trees, a herd of impala grazes quietly. Their slender bodies gleam a tawny gold under the morning sun, and every movement they make appears like a delicate brushstroke across the savanna's vast canvas. They move in near silence, yet that silence is fragile. Behind their grace lies a constant electric vigilance. The impala, one of southern Africa's most elegant antelopes, is built for survival in a land where danger is never far. With a single bound, it can leap 30 feet forward and soar nearly 10 feet into the air, as though lifted by the savanna winds themselves. These spectacular leaps are far more than a simple escape tactic, and more than an expression of exuberance. They are a dialogue with death, each impossible arc, a bold declaration to unseen predators. I am vitality. I am speed. A chase would be futile. It is a calculated gamble of energy meant to avoid the far greater gamble of life. Movement swift, coordinated, effortless is their primary shield. Not far away, among the dry grass, dark spots flicker between the blades. A flock of guinea fowl moves like a troop of tiny medieval warriors. Each adorned with blue-black plumage, bright red crests, white-spotted bodies, and helmet-like heads. Their hurried gait borders on comedic. Yet at the faintest rustle, the entire flock freezes in unison, transformed in an instant into statues of absolute stillness. Guinea fowl are the noisy sentinels of the savannah. Their sharp, piercing calls ripple across the plains, warning every nearby creature of approaching danger. Yet their role extends far beyond sounding alarms. They are tireless custodians of these grasslands, consuming vast numbers of insects and parasitic ticks that torment the larger herbivores. This relationship is a perfect example of symbiosis. The great beasts freed of their parasites, and the guinea fowl granted a reliable, safe food source. They are not merely the alarm system of the plains, they are its sanitation crew. Often, they are the very first to spot a leopard slipping through the brush, or the silent shadow of an eagle drifting overhead. A slight movement stirs the lower boughs. A vervet monkey slips into view, swinging from branch to branch and leaving a trail of sharp, staccato calls echoing through the forest canopy. Small in size, yet striking in appearance, the vervet monkey is instantly recognizable soft, silvery gray fur, a dark, expressive face. And a long tail that acts as a perfect counterbalance as it vaults through the treetops. Among adults, the males possess a unique feature, a pale blue patch of skin on the abdomen, a vivid visual signal woven into their social communication. True opportunists, vervet monkeys expand their menu dramatically during the rainy season. Fruits, seeds, insects, fresh shoots, anything the forest offers becomes part of their feast. But at the forest's edge, danger is never far. At the silhouette of a leopard, or the heavy wing beats of a martial eagle, one vigilant member of the troop will let out a sharp, unmistakable alarm. And what is truly remarkable is the complexity of their warning system. Their alarm calls form an intricate, almost linguistic code. A low, barking call means leopard, and the troop rushes upward into the highest branches. A short, abrupt cough means eagles sending every monkey scanning the sky before diving for cover, and a piercing chatter signals snake, prompting the entire troop to rise onto their hind legs, eyes sweeping the ground below. It is a clever and highly evolved early warning network, one of the most sophisticated forms of animal communication on the savanna. As the sun sinks beneath the fiery horizon of the African savanna, the echoes of the day's conflicts linger in the dust. The chase, the struggle, the desperate fight for one more breath. This is where survival is carved into the earth with tooth and claw. Yet within this relentless world lies a deeper truth. The savanna thrives not because the strong dominate, but because every creature plays an irreplaceable role in the balance of nature. Their battles are harsh, but they are essential, sustaining a cycle that has shaped life for thousands of years. And while the wild may seem distant, its fate is undeniably tied to our own. That is why the responsibility to protect these landscapes falls on all of us. Conservation, respect for wildlife, and mindful coexistence are not just ideals, they are necessities if we hope to preserve these remarkable scenes for future generations. The wild teaches us resilience, balance, and the value of every living being, no matter how small or fearsome. If this journey into the heart of the savanna has moved you, be sure to like the video and subscribe to Hidden Planet TV so you can continue exploring the wonders and the urgent need for protection of our natural world.